First, let's focus once again on youth unemployment in the country. It continues to be a massive problem, of course. According to the quarterly labour force survey from Stats SA, the fourth quarter, the last 3 months of last year, the percentage of unemployed people aged between 15 and 35 increased by 1.7%. Now, there's an organisation called Save SA Smelters. They've criticised government for an additional tax on chrome ore. They say that about 8,000 more jobs stand to be affected in the coming months in the smelting industry. So what is going on as far as smelters are concerned? It's a huge pleasure to welcome to eNCA Lindelani Nyathikazi. He's a convener at the Save SA Smelters organisation, joining us now to discuss this. Lindelani, good morning to you. Just unpack this for me. Give me a bit more detail about this increased tax, this additional tax on chrome ore.
Good morning, Gareth, to you and your viewers. Firstly, maybe let me correct you. We are not criticizing the government for implementing the tax. We are criticizing the government for the delay in the implementation of the tax on the export ore. We would like to see South Africa regaining its market share in the world as the biggest ferrochrome producer, because we have the God-given chrome ore within our country, which is, I think, over 70% of chrome ore reserves in the world. But initially, because of Eskom prices that have been hiking, I think, for over 500% in the last decade, we've seen a huge loss of these ferrochrome plants or called smelters in South Africa. And it's not that the demand for ferrochrome has dropped, but what is happening is we are currently exporting ore, raw ore, unbeneficiated ore to China, which in turn implies that we are basically exporting jobs to China. And the Chinese ferrochrome industry is booming using our own ore from South Africa. So we are calling on our government to implement the tax that they indicated that they have passed the bill for implementation in October last year. We are saying, government, with this being implemented, we will see our smelters reopening again. We will see the existing smelters also being sustainable and keeping the existing 80,000 jobs. We will immediately recreate, with the existing plants, which are either mothballed or in care and maintenance, we will immediately see employment of about 17,000 direct jobs.
Lindelani, so it looks like the sooner this can come to fruition, more jobs are going to be, saved, secured, and more jobs are going to get created as well. So why do you think there's been a delay on this? What's the engagement been like?
I think government processes tend to take time, Gareth. And we're calling on our government to say, okay, you've come up with a brilliant plan. Let's see it materialize so that we can actually form part of the economic recovery plan within South Africa after the COVID-19 impact. And I think also there are also some people or some businesses that are opposing the implementation of tax on the ore. I think they are afraid, especially those which are non-integrated ore producers, or those that have what is called UG2 as a byproduct, mainly in the PGM plants. So they obviously have their own benefits from selling the UG2 ore, which is basically a byproduct for them. It's just additional revenue stream for them.
Just before I let you go, Lindelani, before we let you go, so that's the delay on government side. Very quickly, before I say goodbye to you, do you have a timeline that you're giving government here? When do you want this to be implemented by?
As soon as possible, Gareth. We would like to see this thing done in the next 2 to 3 months. We were already given an indication in October last year, so it should be very practical to see it happening within the space of a year.
Well, I hope government has heard you as you and I conclude our conversation. Lindelani Nyathikazi, appreciate your time in speaking to us, convener at Save SA Smelters. The implementation of this agreement could see thousands and thousands more jobs created in the smelter industry. He is from Save SA Smelters, taking on the fight for the industry.